Thank you guys so much for joining this segment of Innovation Delivered. During this time, guys, we're going to be talking about start now, building a brand with what you have. Now, this segment is going to be for anyone who is looking to, just take that leap. They have a great idea, but haven't had the chance to start that brand, or anyone who's in the space already who's looking to grow. Now, just to introduce myself, I'm Sabrina Hall. I'm an account executive here at Octane. Been with the company for going on 5 lovely years. I've done everything from account management to in-house sales, and now I work in the field with our amazing customers. I'll go ahead and hand it off to Myra, who is an absolute legend in the space. Everyone in the Atlanta area knows her. She is absolutely fantastic. Myra, I'll hand it off to you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Mayre Bavarderosa. I'm the founder and CEO of Ecom Spaces, and we are an e-commerce hub that helps e-commerce founders with everything they need to run and grow their businesses all under one roof. That means we have a warehouse, we do fulfillment, we have content creation space when people can make photos, do TikTok shop lives, and much more. I'm super excited to be here. We look Atlanta, but I'm originally from Guadeloupe, and my native language is French, which explains my accent.
Thank you so much, Myra. Felicia, I'll hand it off to you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Felicia Tucker. I'm the founder and CEO of Velicious. We are a feminine care brand that helps women to feel fresh, sexy, and confident using plant-powered hygiene products made for real bodies and for real life. I'm originally from Jamaica, and we are based in Atlanta. I actually started my business out of my own personal health struggles, was working full-time, shipping orders from my basement, and I built everything from scratch with limited resources. Since then, we have served over 40,000 customers. We've earned thousands of 5-star reviews and even founded a nonprofit that supports women and children. And I'm happy to be here today.
Amazing. Thank you guys so much. Now, Felicia, just to get into it, I know you just said that, you built everything from scratch, but, just thinking about how in the beginning, how did you manage, inventory, production, fulfillment, and marketing with like little to no money when you first started?
It's hard, but it's possible. I actually worked a full-time job. And I was able to pour back. But because of that, I was able to pour back all of my business profit back into my business. I didn't take a salary in the beginning. And I also relied on pre-orders, really, really strong pre-orders. I made sure to be transparent about the timeline with my customers. I would speak to my manufacturer first, and then I added even a buffer just to make sure things would get back in on time. I would then use the pre-order funds to purchase my inventory. And that's how I started when it came to production. When it comes to inventory, everything was stored in my basement. So I have everything at home. And of course, once I started using Shopify, the tools within Shopify also helped me to manage my inventory. You said marketing? Marketing was all me as well. I spent a lot of nights scouting through social media, trying to find influencers that would align with my brand, because that was really important to me. And on a Sunday or a Monday morning, I remember sitting down and I blasted out 10 to 20 influencers on that day, trying to get people to come back in and work with the brand and share the products. For fulfillment, I use a ShipStation, of course. It allowed me to bulk ship. I saved hours. That tool made a huge difference for me. I could go on and on and on, but I'll stop there.
Yes, we love to hear it. Thank you so much. Now, Myra, how about you? What tools and platforms help you operate like a bigger brand in the beginning, like ShipStation, Canva, Shopify, stuff like that?
Yes. First, I actually was using Canva at the early stages of it. It was very basic back then. And I remember I was freaking out because I needed the logo last minute to match a new website I had made. And I found Canva like this. And literally, I was able to make a super nice logo that I'm using until this day for my my other business. And so really looking for all these tools online, testing them. I did a lot of testing with many stuff. Same thing with shipping. So my main activity is logistics and shipping. And trust me, when I started, I was going to the post office every time to ship every single package when I started in 2013. And first of all, it was more expensive at the post office, but imagine writing down the address manually, all of that. And the day I discovered ShipStation, I was just so happy because not only I could the prices, and really, so that's the other piece that people don't realize is that in shipping, you always have to make sure that the price of the shipping is either included in the product, or if you provide the service, that you do your margin on that. And ShipStation allowed me with their rates to actually bootstrap my business. I also had some connections from ShipStation to other shipping providers who gave me great rates to ship international. So over time, having these 60%, 30% of retail prices, I will charge the retail price to the client and then get that margin back from me in my cash flow. And that was a game changer. Now, that wasn't the only thing though about ShipStation. Is the automation rules definitely save us a lot of time. And again, like I was saying earlier, learning the tech. So you find a piece of tech, but testing the maximum. What can you do with it to help you save money, pack faster, or do any other task faster? And the simplicity of it, creating processes, being able to hire people to work on it, definitely help for the growth. Which other platform? I mean, I've been using a couple of them, but one thing that I did with my website was custom built, but because of that, the API connection with ShipStation, we were able to connect ShipStation with my other platforms to automate even more. So we went a step further over time. And this happened over a period of time, over a period of years. I'm not talking about weeks or days. This literally happened over a period of years.
Wow. Wow, that's amazing, Myra. I can't believe you were writing your addresses down by hand at the beginning. That is bare bones.
And I didn't know how much to charge for shipping either, so I ended up charging less than what I was supposed to charge. But
yeah, that's wild. Now, guys, talking about kind of wearing all the hats in the business, right? So I know that obviously it was just yourselves when you first started, but let's get into real talk. Like, both of you guys, like, I would love to know, like, what did your day-to-day look like when you were doing everything on your own? Felicia, I'll start with you.
Sure. For me, overall, I would say it started with my 10-hour shifts. I did 10 hours a day, 4 days a week to knock my 40 hours out. So I would have more time to spend on my business. Once I was done with that, I'm heading home. I'm making dinner. I'm heading to the basement because that's where my business was ran from at the time. I would be bulk printing and packing my orders. I would also be, I'm always searching for new products. I'm always researching ingredients to see what will work for a female's body. So I spent time doing that as well. I'm also customer service. So I'm answering emails. I'm big on customer service. I want my customer to get the full experience, not just buy the product. So I'm big on responding to them within 48 hours. So I will be doing that, whether it's through emails, through DMs, responding to their comments on our social media. I spent a lot of time there. And then I would spend the rest of my night with Canva. I was creating all of my graphics myself. So I was using my templates to create graphics, maybe even creating videos for social media. I would say that would be my overall day to day.
Gotcha. So you were doing everything, making dinner, fulfilling orders in the basement, doing customer service. I love it. Myra, how about you?
Well, literally the story of Felicia is the story of a lot of e-commerce founders. And the reason why I actually created Ecom Spaces, because that was me as well with my first business, Really Shop USA. I found myself working from 7 a.m. to 1 a.m., 7 days a week, packing boxes, doing customer service, posting on social media, making claims for the post office, receiving orders, receiving packages, inventory, listing. So it's a whole thing that it's like a wheel that never ends. So every day you do the same thing over and over. You're excited because you see the business growing, but
Absolutely.
you're so stuck in operations that as the business grows, you have less time for marketing. You have less time to take care of your customers because you're here packing boxes, you're here doing all the operational stuff. And at some point, I literally was crying every day in my garage. So she was in her basement. I ended up from my bedroom to my living room to my garage. And once in the garage, I was crying because I was like, how am I going to be able to make enough money to get a warehouse and hire people? Because I cannot hire people at my house.
Right.
Caught in that catch-22, and I just didn't know what to do. So at that point, and that was years before Ecom Spaces, I knew that if that business that I was doing would have been successful, I would end up helping other people at some point. I didn't know how. But yeah, that's how it looks like. And I realize now, working with so many founders, so we work with hundreds of founders, they have the same story and they all go through this, but then we tend to compare ourselves with other people, and then we think that other people have a full staff. But most of the founders that I met, everybody thought they had a full staff and they didn't. So they really, they don't show that. People back then were not showing that aspect of doing everything themselves. And that's normal. So I just wanted people to understand it's normal, and it's great to go through this. So you understand your process, you perfect your process before you get people to work on it with you. Or you control the customer experience. You can send little written notes. Before you go to a fulfillment center, I will tell people, pack your own orders so you understand how that works. So when you work with the fulfillment center, you can tell them, you can understand what they talk about. And yeah, so it's hard. You're going to cry, but it's normal. It's part of the process. And you need to go through this a little bit. I'm like, don't do it for many years, but go through it a little bit to understand the core of your business. And also to know if you're really passionate about what you do.
Yes, absolutely. I hear that story, Myra, from so many of the merchants out here that I speak to. So definitely everyone can relate to that. Now, speaking about like hiring people, when did you know it was time to hire someone and build your team? I know you were in the garage crying. Was it that moment, or when did you know?
Funny enough, as soon as I started shipping my first package, I was like, whoa, in 1 year, I'm going to have 10 employees. I'm going to have that big warehouse at the first package. And that didn't happen. That only happened like 2 years later. But I would say for e-commerce founders, someone who sells physical products, they have the products. When you start spending 2 hours shipping, it's like 2 hours constantly every day of the week. Now it's time to start looking, okay, fulfillment center or someone or hiring, or how can I get out of doing the shipping? Because what I'm doing is working. People want it. They want the product. It's working. Mm-hmm. So I need to put these 2 hours in marketing, in other things, in product development. And these tasks that are repetitive, now you can start hiring for that or outsourcing.
Gotcha. So kind of perfecting your craft and then handing it off to someone else. Gotcha. Yeah. Now, Felicia, I'm sure you've had the same experience sort of. But I just was wondering for you, like, how did you stay motivated when things got hard until, like, to Myra's point where you're kind of crying in the garage? Like, what kept you motivated?
Yeah, I definitely cried through it a lot of nights. But I would say that my customers kept me going. The messages that I would receive, I've had customers come to me and let me know that they were able to conceive their rainbow babies after being told that they couldn't. They've brought me through the entire process. I've got the sonograms, I've got
Wow.
the baby shower photos, I've got up to 5. I just got a photo from the 5th birthday, and it just broke my heart. So whenever I feel like throwing in the towel, that's one of the major things that keeps me going. I'll go back and I'll read the reviews. I'm like, okay, I helped somebody, and it keep me going. The next thing I would say is just the idea that I want to show my children of what's possible. I'm an immigrant. I'm not from here, and to come to this country and to be able to have this success, to me, it shows that if I can do it, you can do it too. So that's what keeps me motivated overall.
All right. Yeah, no, congratulations. You are absolutely killing it. Now, guys, let's move into building around purpose. So, Myra, I just want to know, how did your why keep you grounded when resources were low or growth kind of plateaued a little bit?
Like recently? Yes, I mean 2025 has been very rough for everybody especially in e-commerce. With all this tariff stuff and the economy, everything. Even very large brands are suffering right now, filing for bankruptcy. So I guess right now is a good time to talk about this. What do you do? How do you stay motivated when all of these things happening around you and to you? Like Felicia was saying earlier, it's about community. If you know that the reason why you're doing what you do is not so I can get a check every month and so I can become rich and this and that, but because I'm helping people, it's making the entire difference. I remember in January, wanted to quit like never before, and just receiving messages, random messages from my clients like, hey, Myra, thank you so much. I'm so thankful for all the stuff Ecom Spaces is doing, like just shipping the products for them. For some of them, it's like that was a huge burden, having the space. Now they are able to travel to work on their brand, but reading these messages on the impact that we had on them and their lives, and not necessarily the business. Sometimes, it's personal things. It's not, oh, I'm using the service. It's like, you changed my life. Now I can have a life. I can have a husband, spend a family because you're handling the shipping for us. Or you connected us to this other person. We do a lot of connecting people in our network. So these things are what keeps me going. If I didn't have that feedback from the clients, I'm pretty sure I would have stopped already. So many times that happens. So make sure, if you have a brand, again, I repeat myself, you have to be purpose driven. The more purpose driven you are, the more chances you're going to have for success, because the less likely you're going to quit. It's all about who's going to keep going more than who get the most money, who knows most people, who won all the pitch competition, get these grants, or these investors. Even investors, when they're looking to invest, they're looking at how purpose driven you are and your why. They're always going to ask you for your why first. That's the reason why people start their pitch with their why, because it's the most important thing. So yes, if you feel deep down that there's a reason why you're doing this and it's deeper than just money, that's gonna keep you alive. Yeah.
I love it. Myra, you are amazing. Now, Felicia, I was just wondering, for you, like, any advice that you would give to founders in the space on how to, stay motivated and feel, people that just feel like they're not ready to launch? Any advice you could give them?
I don't think you're ever going to feel like you're ready to launch.
No.
Yes.
So advice I would give is to just start. You'll figure it out along the way. You don't need a big team. You don't need a lot of money. Just start. Perfect it along the way. Progress is better than perfection. That's what I'll say. Post from your phone. You don't need a camera.
Right.
You don't need you there are manufacturers out there that can actually help you formulate or already have formulas and you can just put your twist to it. You know, there's so much that you don't need that you think you do. Just start. Go to YouTube University.
Right. Yeah, that's good advice. I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
Myra, how about you? What would you say? What's some advice for people that have a great idea, but they're just afraid to take that leap?
Again, just do it. I'm thinking about our roadmap at Ecom Spaces. The first step is like the first stage is jumpstart. We literally get people at the second stage where they're already doing stuff. But the jumpstart is like you build your own website on your own. It's not gonna look nice, but it doesn't matter if your product works. Do be talk about the product. You don't like to be on camera, then you don't have to show yourself. Show stuff around you. You don't like to do things. AI is big now. Get on ChatGPT, learn how to use it. You can make content, it can make photos, videos for you. Utilize what you have around you, and it's free. If I had started now, I think that my business would be completely different with all the tools that are available. Back in 2013, when I started, I didn't have access to none of this. I didn't even know about Shopify. So seeing all the progress and the accessibility, everything is on YouTube. People share their tips and everything. You can network with people on LinkedIn. Everything is there. Just start. Put your product out there. Don't wait to have like $1 million. Go, jump, do it.
Love it. Just think Nike, right? Just do it. Get out there. You'll learn along the way. All right, guys. I want to just go quickly into some last questions, some rapid fire questions that I want to ask both of you. Felicia, we'll start with you. Like, what is one mindset shift that helped you keep going?
One of my biggest mindset shift, I would say, is to take my losses as a lesson. Before, I'm honest, I would be the one that would take a loss and I will curl up in bed for a week or two or 3 or 4. Too long. But now I've looked at it as lessons. I see them as stepping stones instead of roadblocks. And I look back at some of the most successful entrepreneurs. One of them is Sarah Blakely. Love her. She's the founder of Spanx. She took a ton of losses. Yes. And, she got a lot of no's, but she kept, she was consistent. And now she has $1 billion brand. So that inspires me. It reminds me that setback does not mean failure. It means growth. I take those lessons, I put them on the ground and I step on them. It takes me higher. So, I've also learned to lean into mentorship. Myra doesn't know this, but she's like one of my secret mentors. I've cried on her shoulders and everything. I love Myra. I love Ecom Spaces and I love the community that they have. So I think that mentorship and community is also a really big part of what I use to keep me going.
Yes, absolutely. Now, Myra, what about you? What would you say? What's one mindset shift that's helped you keep going when things got hard?
Well, a mindset, something that I would share with people is how they definitely need to shift that is not comparing themselves to others. So we see all these businesses that look fancy on the outside. They are not what you think most of the time. And us having a bunch of founders, we can tell you that as a fact, it's not always as fancy as you think. And so stop comparing yourself to other businesses, to other founders. Find your own voice. Be authentic. Authenticity is the biggest currency right now. This is what makes the difference between brands that do well and the ones that do not do well on social media, especially. The customer can sense that. Be authentic, be yourself. Stop comparing yourself to others. However, I compare myself to who I want to be. So I always had a vision for Ecom Spaces. And for me as a founder, as a CEO, I feel like I'm not doing great at all as a CEO. I look at the bottom. I'm like, no, I want to be like this. Me, Maire, this is how I vision myself as a CEO. This is how I vision my company as the best company possible. And that's what I'm comparing myself with, my future self, my future company, not other companies around me.
Got it. Now, Myra, I know you're partnering with even Louis Vuitton. You're doing it, girl. You're doing it big. You are a top CEO.
He is.
Not yet, but I'm trying. It's hard.
No, you are it. Now, guys, what's one tool or platform that made a big difference for you when starting your business? Felicia, I'll start with you.
I would say ShipStation, hands down.
Hey.
I started off writing names on my box, like Mary said earlier, literally going to the post office, purchasing everything there, writing the names to and from on every single box, and purchasing the labels without even knowing the cost. Next step was to go online and purchase them online, which was still manual. You still had to go in and put in every single name and the ship to address just to get the labels. So once I upgraded to ShipStation and I could buy and print my labels in bulk and even schedule pickups.
Oh, yes.
That was right from my house. That was time saving. It reduced my stress and also the trips to the post office. So I say ShipStation. I don't ship anymore, and I still speak about ShipStation to this day.
That's amazing. That's amazing. How about you, Myra?
Well, I don't want to sound cliche because we're on a ShipStation event, but even if I was not in that ShipStation event, as everybody who follow me, they know, ShipStation literally helped me build and grow a fulfillment center. So we think ShipStation for a brand, it's amazing for brands, but I was able to utilize this to build and grow a fulfillment center. So I had multiple clients on it. That was game changer. I'm bootstrapping my business. Every penny counted. WMS system is very expensive, and I was able to really utilize ShipStation with other softwares to give me the ability to do my pick and pack, print my labels, and do all of this, and still train people to use it. So definitely a great thing. Another tool that I use a lot, and I mean recently, is AI, of course. I try to utilize AI for every single thing. Right now, I'm literally saving hours every day with emails. I hate checking my emails and replying to emails. And I found this amazing tool that literally, I don't know if I can say the name, so other people might want to use it. Yeah, it's called Fixer AI. And he literally writes the email, but he learns over time, and he totally knows my tone of voice, everything.
Wow.
And he makes the email for me. If someone needs to schedule a time, he does all of that. He's going to see on my calendar, and knowing my preference, what's the best time to do that. And it's saving me so much time. Again, find the tools that will save you time. And sometimes the price, if it really saves you a lot of time, the price won't even matter.
Right. Time is money. Time is money. And I definitely everyone check out Fixer AI. I've never even heard of that, Myra. So thank you so much for bringing that to our attention. Lastly, just want to ask, I know, what is one mistake you would avoid if you could start again? What would you say? Felicia, I'll start with you.
One mistake, if I could start again, and this is really basic, but really important, at least to me. And I would say is to make sure you get a virtual address when setting up when registering your business, especially if you don't have a physical business address. Avoid using your home address. You don't want people pulling up to your house asking you where your order is. So I would say if you don't have an actual business location, get a virtual address when registering.
Yeah, that's great advice. How about you, Myra? What would you say? What's one mistake you made? If you could do it again, you would not do that.
Fire fast. So I didn't fire fast enough many times. firing fast is like the biggest thing ever. We, especially, the purpose-driven founders, we purpose-driven because we care about people, and that transpires in the people who work with us. And in many occasions, I knew I was supposed to fire someone, and I didn't fire them and kept them for months versus, hey, first week I see the flag, they should be gone. That costs money, that affects your mental health. And then when you have many employees, it's going to affect the other employees. So I've been through this a couple of times. It took me maybe 10 times to finally being more comfortable in firing, letting people go, and having processes around this. But it was the hardest thing for me to do. First time I fired someone, I cried because I didn't want to go through this, but it was necessary. So you have the business, you have to take CEO decisions, and at the same time, you're a human being who loves people. This is the hardest thing ever, but it needs to be done. And that's my advice. Really, if you guys start hiring and you have these flags early on, you're non-negotiable, you have to let go and find the next. It's better like 10 people in a month that keep the same person for 10 months and still have to look for someone anyway afterwards.
Yes. You heard it here first, guys. Let go of those people if you have to. It's just business. All right, wrapping up, guys. I just want to thank you so much for joining this segment of Innovation Delivered. We really appreciate your time. You guys are absolute legends in the space, and we really appreciate you joining. Recommendations for everyone else that's joined. You can see here, we've got a link for ShipStation for free for 90 days. So feel free to click on that link if you're interested. And also we've got a branded customer experience demo that we would love to show you. So feel free to click the link here to sign up. Thank you guys so much, and have a great rest of the day.